Hello and welcome to another Cantonese class. Today we are learning by watching this video which is about Chinese speaking exam that got cancelled in Hong Kong. As usual, to test your understanding, I'll put the questions on screen and you can take a screenshot so you can answer the questions while you're watching the video. Now, this video, there are Chinese subtitles, so I believe it will help you a little bit in terms of understanding what this is about. But I also have a Cantonese subtitled version on my Patreon page, which is newly created, and I'll make that available for free, so don't worry about that. But there are paid content, of course, on this page. You can join for $3 per month, or if you want to support me, you can go for the $10 option. And I've made some contents available for free so you can have a better understanding of what you'll be subscribing to. And the latest post is a vocabulary test about the vocabularies in this video, because there are some difficult vocab that I will explain before explaining the questions. So I created this little test to test your understanding on those difficult vocabularies. So go watch this video. I'll put a link in the description and I'll see you in a bit. Alright, let's get into the vocabulary first. So the first difficult vocab, well, at least I think it's difficult, is 壽終正寢. Now, this is a very rarely used word, and I can't think of any situation that you'll be using this word, but let's take a look at the meaning. So the original meaning is to die naturally at home. So if you say 佢壽終正寢, that means he died naturally at home. And this also has an extended meaning, meaning something disappearing, becoming extinct, dying out, or to die. So for example, my phone dies. So technically you can say 我部電話壽終正寢. Okay, but just don't say that, because that's very weird. Like, if you want to say my phone is broken, just say 我部電話壞咗. 壞咗 is broken, right? Just like, if you want to use this word, you have to be careful, because a lot of the time it just sound weird if you use this word. Okay, so back to the video. If you say 說話卷壽終正寢, so this means the speaking paper died, essentially. But if you were to translate this, I believe speaking paper is cancelled is a more proper translation. But just keep in mind that it has this kind of implications. Right, 有飯食冇飯食. It means whether one can make a living. And I believe is a metaphor that is derived from the term 搵食. 搵食 is to make a living. So if I say 開餐廳搵唔搵到食, that means can you make a living by opening a restaurant? 一刀切. So there are two meanings. The first one is to solve a problem once and for all, and it's usually in a bad way. So for example, in a video, there are a lot of problems in the speaking exam, and if you were to solve the problems in the speaking exam, you should be finding solutions to different difficulties, right? For example, unfairness and, other problems, right? But what the Education Bureau did is just to cancel the exam. So in a way, they did solve the problem once and for all because they canceled it. So the problem is gone, but they didn't really solve the problem. You know what I mean? Like, they just canceled it. So, if you remove the problem, of course the problem is gone, but that's not how you solve a problem properly, right? So this is what 一刀切 usually describes. It describes this kind of situation. Okay, next one. 口口聲聲. It's used to describe someone not doing something as they said or as they claimed. So in the video, 林日欣 said 如果口口聲聲話教育係無價嘅. So this is implying that the Education Bureau said education was priceless but they did something that contradict what they said. Right, 貼地. 貼地 means to be useful or is used to describe someone who understands what citizens want or to describe someone who acts just like an average person. So if I say 學科唔貼地, that means the subject is useless. If I say 政府唔貼地, okay, whoops, it should be 政府, not 政府. 政府唔貼地 means the government doesn't understand what people want. 雖然佢有錢但都幾貼地. This means although he's rich, he just lives like an average person or a normal person, meaning no bodyguards, no LVs, eat fast food, etc. 朝令夕改 is used to describe policy getting changed so often, making it hard for people to adapt. Right, so these are all the vocabularies. Again, if you want to test your understanding on these vocabs, you can go to my Patreon page. And let's go to the questions. Question number 1. Let me just turn this on. Right, question number 1. What does Lim Yit-yin think the Education Bureau should have done before cancelling the Chinese speaking exam? So the answer is B. Right, let's have a look. Okay, so here is the key points. Let's have a listen.
起碼俾個機會我探討得唔得啊？你起碼開3、4場，一場研討會好未啊？問下啲老師好唔好，可唔可行，做唔做到啊？
Right, so this is the answer. Right, 起碼 is at least. 機會 is a chance, right? 起碼, so at least give me a chance to discuss in depth. 探討 is to discuss, usually in depth. So discuss in depth, 得唔得, whether it will work or not. When will you say this? Like, at least give me a chance. When will you say this? When you don't have the chance, right? So this means that they didn't have the chance to discuss in depth with the Education Bureau. Like, at least, right, one seminar, right? Ask the teachers whether it's good or not, like, does it work or not? So the answer is B. Next question. In Lim Yit-yin's opinion, which of the following is the most absurd reason for cancelling the speaking exam? So this, I believe, is a relatively easy question because if you know the word for absurd, then you will know the answer.
提出過幾個唔同嘅理由啦，我覺得最荒謬就係成本理由。
Okay, this is the answer. 最荒謬 means absurd. 成本 means cost. So A. The cost of holding this exam is too high, in his opinion. Right? So the answer is A. Question number 3. In Lim Yit-yin's opinion, what is the value of the speaking exam?
但係考試點樣高分呢？佢要喺嗰條題目入邊就住人哋嘅回應去表達自己嘅睇法。哇！呢個真係其實好高深嘅嘢嚟㗎。
喺條題目入邊就住人哋嘅回應表達自己嘅睇法。So this is answer A. Learn how to process others' opinions and express their own thoughts. Right? 好高深嘅嘢 so it's a very high level stuff.
一條題目對住兩個老師，咁咪腳震啦，手又震埋，望住兩個人。將來你同兩個、20個、200個，我而家對2000個人講嘢，訓練嘅過程。
Okay, 腳震手震 so your hands and legs are shaking. What does that mean? That means you're nervous, right? Right, so what is he trying to say, right? 我對2000個講嘢，對2000個人講嘢，對20個對200個人講嘢 right? That means that this is a way for students to build their confidence.
我唔係叫大家交氣，但係説話畢竟就係一種你喺唔同場合要講唔同嘢嘅訓練嚟嘅。
你要喺唔同場合講唔同嘅嘢嘅訓練。Okay, so this is basically C, but we can watch more.
呢個係語言調度嘅能力，應該唔同嘅場合佢嘅唔同嘅 language 嘅使用係會係好靈活。當佢嘅語文能力越高嘅話，
唔同嘅場合佢嘅唔同嘅 language 嘅使用係好靈活。So this is also a hint that C is the answer. C is true, right? So the answer is D. Okay, question number 4. Why does Lim Yit-yin think cancelling the exam will in fact increase student stress? This is also kind of easy. but let's have a look.
對學生嘅影響最大就係我以前考5份卷咧，我平均有失手空間，而家唔係仲大壓力咩
Okay, this is the answer. 我平均有失手空間。What does that mean? 失手 is to make a mistake, and 有失手空間 that means there is leeway for you to make mistakes because the exams are diversified, so you can make some mistakes here and there and it won't really affect your overall score, but because the speaking exam is cancelled, right? So the weighting on other papers will become higher and you won't have the same amount of leeway. What does this mean? This means that the impact of making mistakes on other papers will be magnified, right? So the answer is A. Okay, question 5. Which of the following is false? Now this kind of requires you to have a full understanding of what this video is about. So let's just take a look at answer A. Namyeon thinks that we shouldn't put a price tag on any subjects. Now this is true. So whoops. Okay, the answer is D, but let's so this is true, which means it's not the answer because we are looking for the false one. 如果你要咁講咁 visual art 啊文學科好少人讀，仲有老師仲有課程仲要教科書，係咪更加應該 cut 咗佢？你唔會咁，你唔會用公理價值去計算個學科本身嘅意義，咁所以我覺得呢一點就已經係錯㗎啦。 你唔會用公理價值去計算個學科本身嘅意義。Okay, what is 公理價值? So 公理價值, I googled it and it says it's utilitarian value. I don't know if you understand that, but if you don't, in this sentence, it means that we should not materialize a subject. We should not have any thought of whether the subject can be materialized, right? Even if people can't really make a living by being an artist, the value of the subject itself is still valuable, right? So you can't really judge whether a subject is valuable or not based on whether the students can make money in the future. So this is what he means. Right, so A is true, which means it's not the answer. Okay, B. Namyeon believes it's very unlikely that the exam is unfair. So this is also true.
咁亦都提出一定公平啊！咁大家都可能聽過，就係喂5個人考試，咁啊有一個人嘅時候突然間咧就搞事，講粗口又好啊，企起身又好啊，拍台走人咁會點咧？咁但係呢一種咁搞事嘅人佔幾多咧？
呢一種咁搞事嘅人佔幾多咧？搞事 is to cause troubles, and 佔幾多 ？So he is asking a rhetorical question, basically 佔幾多咧 ？So he doesn't think the majority of students are those who cause troubles.
我諗一年考試入邊5、6萬嘅考生，總有1、2個好誇張，我哋一定會將佢放到好大，因為嗰啲先最多人 share， 最好笑啦，係咪？即係等於每年影巴曲，你見到好多㗎。但其實影巴曲嘅人真係好多咩
？So if you don't know what 影巴曲 means, in the DSE examination in Hong Kong, by the way, DSE examination is like SAT in America, I believe. So it's an exam that tests your ability on whether or not you can go to a university. In this exam, there is a sticker, and on the sticker there is a barcode, and we are required to stick it on the on the answer paper, and we are not allowed to take pictures or take photos of the barcode. So this is what it means. So he's further explaining why the majority of students are actually the normal ones and not those who cause troubles.
咪就係每年嗰3個、4個、5個、10個好未啊？你 out of 個分母咁大嘅時候，唔等於嗰係主流啦。
Okay, out of 個分母. Do you know what it means? Like this is a very weird English Cantonese combination. So 分母 is a denominator, and out of 個分母, so 分母 is the denominator, right? So for example, 1 out of 10,000. So this is what he's talking about. So the 分母咁大, that means the denominator is huge or large, right? So maybe 10,000, right? The denominator is large, and out of 個分母咁大, so he's saying the percentage is low, right? So if it's 1 out of 10,000, so the percentage is low. So he's further explaining the majority of the students are not those who cause troubles, right? So if they don't cause troubles, then it's unlikely to be unfair, right? Because the majority of the students are normal students, right? And okay, answer C. 林日欣 thinks it's unfair to compare the old systems to the current one. It should be very obvious.
都好多研究指出，好多學生口窒窒啦，唔識表達自己都內向啦。其實咪就係成個社會科技，唔係香港啊，越發達嘅地方越產生嘅問題嚟㗎嘛。咁所以你用嗰個年代嘅去比較今日年代咧，我唔同意嘅。第一
，OK， 你用嗰個年代去比較今個年代咧，佢唔同意。OK， 嗰個年代係 that generation， 今個年代係 this generation。So the old system, so it's unfair to compare the old system to the current one. Apart from literally saying this, like the whole thing, like he's talking about back in the days they have more chances to actually speak and talk, but now we are using WhatsApps and text messages, and so the environments, like it's unfair to compare different environments, or it should not be used as a reason to cancel or to keep the exam or the speaking exam. So D is not correct. Why? Because
即係我家姐有個女咁，佢好大壓力啊，唔想咩咁，我話咁我哋調整期望啦，唔緊要啊，我哋都會覺得你係一個好學生，因為我哋畢竟我哋覺得做一個好人好重要，好人之外佢學到好嘅成績。非常好，係 bonus， 但係唔係必要咯。
畢竟覺得做好人係好重要。OK，so being a good person is very important。係 bonus， 但係唔係必要。bonus means bonus，right？ 唔係必要 it means not necessary。So 好人之外學到好嘅成績。So in addition to being a good person, if he can or she, I forgot, she can get good grades, then it's a bonus, but it's not necessary. So it's not true to say that it's equally as important. So the answer is D. Right, so this is the end of this class. I hope you have learned something, and I hope I'll see you in the near future.